Hello dear students, welcome to my channel The Biology. In today's video we'll be discussing one of the interesting but bit complicated topic, that is the families. It's complicated because students do get scared of this topic. So today we just need to study 4 families for our exams, nothing much in detail. I'll tell you in those families also what are the points you need to remember, what are the points you need to study. So let's begin with the families. Remember, we'll just study 4 families so you can relax completely. You won't have to learn all the families which you have been seeing in different modules and different books. No. You just need to learn the families given in NCERT. That's it. In NCERT, they have given in detail about 3 families and 1 family more they have described a bit. So in total, we have got 4 families, and now we'll begin with the families. So guys, as I told you, we need to study 4 families in total. That is Fabaceae, number 1. Then we have got Solanaceae, number 2. Then we have got Liliaceae, number 3. And the last one we have got is Brassicaceae family. Remember, in NCERT, they have given the detailed description about the first 3 families, but regarding the 4th family, they have just given the floral formula and floral diagram. Now, what is floral formula? What is floral diagram? What are the characteristics they are representing? I'll tell you everything in this video. You just need to relax, listen to me what I'm saying and understand it so that when you finish this video, everything will be completely clear in your mind and almost complete part of the families will be learned by you. What will be left a bit is the examples. That is also some of the examples which are new for you. The common terms will be learned here itself. Clear? So families will study 4. Remember these 4 families names also so that you won't get confused what you are supposed to study and what not. So let's see the next point, that is what we are going to study in the families. Like we are supposed to study the families, but in families also what characteristics of the families we are supposed to study. We must know so that we can concentrate on the families characteristics which are important for us for exams. So basically we have got 3 things to study for the exams. One is floral formula, second one is floral diagram, and the third one is examples. Now you must be thinking, what about the characteristics of those families if you are just going to learn these 3 things, and if they ask about the characteristics which is given in the theoretical form in NCERT. So guys, till now the questions are always asked either theoretical or direct question from floral formula and floral diagram only. If you have learned floral formula and floral diagram, those theoretical points will also be clear to you. You won't have to learn them separately. So it's easier, it's a smarter way to learn floral formula and diagram and complete the family. Clear? So what is floral formula basically? In floral formula, we express the arrangement of floral parts. We start with the first point, that is the symmetry of the flower. The flowers can be symmetrical or asymmetrical, but here the symmetry we show is either actinomorphic or zygomorphic. In this video itself, I'll tell you the symbols we use to write the floral formula. But since we're discussing these points, I'll just give you a general idea what we are going to study in floral formula. So first thing we are going to discuss is the symmetry of the flower. Then we are going to discuss is the sexuality of the flower. That is the flower bisexual, or is it just the female flower, or is it just a male flower? But you won't have to be worried about this thing because all the 4 families we have got are bisexual plants, means they have both male and female reproductive structures in a single flower. So this is one point where you won't have to learn anything. Okay, Now, next, regarding the formula, the next point which we show in the formula is the floral parts, the four whorls. You remember I told you about the four whorls. The outermost one belongs to calyx. Remember? So we write first of all the calyx, which is represented by K. Then inside calyx, what is present? The corolla is present. So the second whorl is corolla. Remember, the whorls are always counted from outer side to inner side, never from inner side to outer side. So K is followed by C, corolla C. Then the third whorl we have got is androecium. This is androecium, and same, it is represented by A, and the innermost part present here in a flower is the gynoecium, and this gynoecium will be represented by G. So this is the basic of floral formula. How these numbers of the we can say the sepals present in the calyx or the petals present in corolla, what is the type of the ovary, is it superior, is it inferior, these all the points we will study in this floral formula in detail. Clear? Now, coming to the next point, that is floral diagram. In floral diagram also, you represent the flower in the transverse section, means you on the outermost part, you draw this calyx, then you draw the corolla, then you draw the androecium, then you draw the gynoecium. I've used the same color to reduce the time waste. So, all these four whorls are represented in this diagrammatic form. Clear? In the floral diagram, what you represent more is the mother axis. What you can represent here is mother axis. Whereas mother axis is not represented in the floral formula. What special thing is represented in floral formula, not in floral diagram? I'm just giving you some hints so that you can make the difference between the floral formulas and floral diagrams. If I don't tell you these differences, then you will think that learning one thing will be enough. No. Learning one thing is not enough. You need to learn both the things. So coming to floral formula, the points like the position of ovary. Position of ovary is not expressed in floral diagram. Then the next point is symmetry. Symmetry, it's expressed in floral diagram also, but we need to pay more attention what is the arrangement. So it's easily learned in the floral formula. Then floral diagram is clear. Then we have got some examples for the first three families, that is Fabaceae, Solanaceae and Liliaceae. We'll learn these families in the same order because we have got some use of the order which is given in NCERT also. And the fourth family, that is Brassicaceae, we are not going to learn any specific example for that. So this was all about the points what we are going to study today in this video regarding all the families. And now I'll tell you that what are the points, what are the symbols we use to express the floral formula for a particular family. So starting with the symmetry, as I told you, the first character we use is symmetry. This is very simple. All you need to know is the symbols we use. Like in maths, we know plus sign means we have to add, minus sign means we have to subtract, multiply sign means we have to multiply the things. Division sign means we have to divide the things. Brackets means complete thing, we know what they mean. Similarly, here also we use some symbols to represent particular things. So in case of symmetry, we use two types of symmetries, that is actinomorphic and zygomorphic. Actinomorphic is represented by a circle with plus sign, whereas zygomorphic is represented by a circle with single line. Clear? Now, after symmetry, what we have got the sexuality. Sexuality of the flower, which shows is the flower bisexual or unisexual. If it is unisexual, is it male flower or female flower? So sexuality can be bisexual or Unisexual. Clear? Bisexual, how do we represent a bisexual flower? Bisexual means what? Male and female parts are together. So we'll just combine the two. Okay, first let me tell you the male and female symbol so that you can remember bisexual symbol also. We all know this is male and this symbol is used to represent female. What if I combine these two symbols? What do I get? I get a combination of these two symbols in this format. Plus is also there and arrow is also there. Very easy to remember. This is the sign of bisexual flowers. All the 4 families we have to study today are bisexual. So nothing much to learn in this portion. Then coming to the outermost world or first world, that is calyx. The unit of calyx is sepals. We all have learned this. Now, calyx is represented by a symbol K. Now, we know that the sepals can be present separated from each other like this, or they can be present in a fused form. So, the number of calyx, the number of sepals in the outermost world are represented over here. Suppose 5 are there, so I'll write 5 over here. Now, if all these 5 sepals are separate, I'll write just like this. But if they are fused, then I'll just use a bracket to show the fusion. This bracket shows that the sepals are fused. Clear? So number is represented, fusion or means fused and unfused sepals are also represented with the bracket. Similarly, moving to the next part, that is corolla. Corolla unit is petals, and this corolla, as I told you, is represented by C. Same, the number of petals are 5. Unfused, we write like this. If they are fused, we'll just use a bracket. Clear? Now, the next whole we have got is androecium. Androecium. Androecium, what is the unit? Remember, the unit of androecium is stamens. Stamen is further having what parts? Anther and filament. Don't forget these parts. Okay. So stamen, suppose let's say there are 5 stamens. I'm not talking about any particular family. I'm just giving you a general idea. Okay. So we have got how many stamens? We have got 5 stamens and androecium is represented by A. Now, if these stamens are separate, A5, or if they are attached with each other, I'll just put a bracket. Sorry, it's A, not 5. Okay. So this is very, very easy what I expect, and of course you also feel it easy, right? Now, next is gynoecium. Gynoecium. Okay. Gynoecium unit is carpel. What is the another name? Pistil. Right? Now, the gynoecium is represented by G, and let's say they have 5 carpels which are present in syncarpous condition. Or first let's talk about the apocarpous condition, because we are talking about the unfused ones first. So in the apocarpous condition, where the carpels are not fused, we will represent like this, or if they are fused, we will represent like this. Means syncarpous condition, a bracket is used. Very, very easy. Now what if I have to represent the position of the ovary? I want to represent in my floral formula that the ovary is superior, then I put a dash below G. This shows that the ovary is superior or hypogynous flower. And if I put a G dash, means dash above the G, it shows that the ovary is inferior. Inferior means you can remember like the G is the ovary and ovary is present above the dash. So it's the ovary is what? Ovary is superior, and if ovary is present below the dash, the ovary will be inferior. Very easy to remember. All the four families we have to study are all the superior ones. So nothing to remember over here, like to get confused. Don't get confused. These in exams they will give you four formulas which are almost similar, but they will just change the position of this dash. And if you are not careful that time, you will have the negatives. So be careful about the negatives. So this is the general idea we have for writing a floral formula. Using all these ideas, we'll write the floral formulas. Now remember in my one of the videos when I was discussing, then I told you that what are the tuples. Guys, sorry, something unexpected happened and everything was removed which was on the screen. So I won't be writing all the symbols again as we have already discussed them. What I'll be resuming with is the term tuples. Remember what we talked about the tuples, what tuples are, and the tuples are unit of what. So let's have a quick revision about the tuples. Tuples are basically the parts present in the flower when calyx and corolla, means the sepals and petals, cannot be differentiated with each other. Similarly, the unit belongs to the group that is known as perianth. So I know if I don't write, you will get a bit confused. I'm just writing for you so that you will recall everything what we have discussed in our previous videos. So tuples are what? Tuples are the forms when the sepals and the petals are present in a form where they cannot be differentiated with each other. Now, tuples are the unit of perianth. Tuples are the unit of perianth. Sepals are the unit of calyx. And petals are the unit of corolla, right? So perianth can be expressed as the floral part where calyx and corolla cannot be differentiated with each other. Now, sometimes, not in all the families, in some of the families what happens, the two whorls becomes connected. Now, this is the sepals. Okay, inside the sepal, what we have got inside the sepal, we have got the petals, and inside the petals, what do we have? We have the stamens. Now, let's say that these stamens are attached to the petals which are present around them. In this condition, what do we show? This is the calyx, then this is corolla, this is androecium. To write the floral formula I am explaining, we just draw an arc. This arc shows that the petals and the stamens are attached. Now, in some of the families where perianth is found or tuples are present, the combination of sepals and petals and the androecium is attached with the tuples, then we simply show P perianth, okay, and androecium, and we just draw an arc. So this arc shows that the two whorls are connected. So what do we conclude here? If different parts of the same whorl are fused, we use brackets, but if the different parts of two different whorls are fused or connected, we use arc. So from now, where to use arc and where to use brackets, you won't get confused, right? Because brackets means the same whorl, arc means the different whorls. What is perianth? What are tuples? You won't get confused now. We'll get a family in our syllabus where we'll see these perianth or tuples in their floral formula and their floral diagram. At that time, I'll not revise this thing again because now I know that you are 100% clear with the terms. So this was all about the information you needed to write a floral formula or floral diagram for a particular family. And now it's time to start with the first family we have, that is the Fabaceae family. Now, Fabaceae family is the family which is important. Number of times questions are asked. Of course, all the families are important. I'm not just saying that this family is only important. All the families are important. Their floral diagrams, their floral formulas are important. And you can see that I have done some work for you. I don't know you like this picture or not, but it was me who was just interested to draw something pre-hand so that I can explain with my drawings and without using or without wasting the time to draw. Okay, so let's start with this floral formula and link it with the let's see this floral diagram and link it with the floral formula, and we'll see what are the characteristics found in this particular family. Clear? So, in this floral formula, what you are seeing over here, this is the mother axis. Mother axis shows the posterior part of the flower basically. Here, so mother axis is present over here, and you can see the symbol, guys. You can see the symbols. The flowers of Fabaceae are zygomorphic. They will just divide into two equal halves with one single plane. Here, so this is the starting of the floral formula. I'll see the diagram, I'll write the formula, then I'll just add something more because some things are not expressed in the diagram but I need in my formula, and those things I'm already clear in my mind, so I won't have to struggle at all. Okay, so after this, what I'm supposed to draw? I'm supposed to draw the sexuality of the flower. As you can see, it has both the worlds, means first world is there, second world is there. Third world, you can see the orange colored world is there, and the fourth one is also there. If third and fourth world both are there, means the androecium and gynoecium are there, the floral formula will be a bisexual type. Done. I'm done with the beginning and will begin as half done, of course. I do believe in this saying. So, symmetry done, sexuality done. Now I need to use four symbols. This is calyx, this is corolla, then I have got androecium, and the last one I have got is gynoecium. What I need to do is now add the numbers present over here, like what are the number of sepals in the calyx, what are the number of petals in the corolla, like this. If I recall this diagram now, I can write my floral formula. I'm not saying 100%, but almost 90 to 95% is done. A bit more is required, which you can learn. I know you are very, very smart, so you can learn it. Okay, so this is now we are going to write the numbers. You can see this outermost one is what? This is the sepal. Here, I'll use green color only because I have drawn it with the green color. So, the outermost one is the sepal. Because sepals are usually green in color, so I've used the green color. And you can count the number of sepals. You can see this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. You can see all these 5 are actually fused with each other. They are joined with each other. So I'll simply use bracket over here. As you can see, you can easily count from the floral diagram that the number of sepals are what? Now, here I'm done with my first whorl, that is the calyx. Now I have got with the second whorl, and we know what is the second whorl? The second whorl is corolla, that is the petals will be there. Now, the one of the most beautiful estivation we studied already when we studied the flower, and here you can see that is one last. I'm drawing separately to show you because I'm not giving the answer first. I want answers from you. Like you can't give me live, but you need to think what I'm going to say for the estivation. Estivation means arrangement of the petals, right? Now, this is the largest petal. Then inner to that, there are two lateral ones. I'm giving complete hint, guys, complete hint. You can easily recall. Then inner to that, two fused petals are present. vexillum, lateral wings, and then keel, also known as carina, and we call it as vexillary estivation. So here you can see that vexillary estivation is present, and the arrangement of the petals is different. Here total 5 petals are there, but all these 5 petals are present in different formats. So to write the floral formula, we'll use the pattern to show the arrangement of the petals over here, and we'll write in such a way that 1 means starting with the first one from this posterior mother axis, we'll start with this 1. Then on the lateral sides 2 are there, so we use the number 2, means 1 plus 2. Now you know that these two are not fused with each other, so I'm not using brackets. Bracket shows fusion. These are not fused, I'm not using bracket. But what about this keel or carina? What about them? The two petals, this is one petal and this is another petal. Both the petals are fused, so I'll write 2 in bracket. I'll write 2 in bracket like this. Wait, I'll just erase A and G so that we get enough space to write the rest of the things. Okay, and I'll rewrite A and G separately. Now, A and G. Okay. So we were talking about the petals arrangement, and now it is very clear. 1, the largest one, then the 2 lateral ones unfused, and the 2 lower ones, the smallest ones, the keel or carina, they are the fused ones, which we represent by the brackets. Now this we are done for the petals also. Now we are left with what? Now we are left with androecium and gynoecium. So let's move to the third whorl. You can see this one. This whorl, I'll use the orange color. Yeah. This is the androecium. And you can see that one is present separately and remaining, you can count. There are total 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So 9 are present in a beaded form. They all are attached. One is present separately. Hence, this is a diadelphous condition. Remember, one anther present, and if 2 groups of anthers are there, means anthers are present in the group of 2, we call it as diadelphous condition. Here 2 groups are there of the anther, where in one group only one stamen is there, whereas in another group 9 stamens are there. So in total, how many are there? In total, there are 10 stamens, but they are present in different fashion. What is the fashion of their arrangement? 9 are present together. Since they are fused, we'll use the bracket plus 1. This one is present separately, so I will not fuse with them. I'll use it in a separated way. Clear? Now after this, we are supposed to write for the ovary, and I'll select the blue color. Now ovary, as you can see, there is one unilocular ovary, that is G is 1. Now here you get something to remember easily. Gynoecium 1, the number of Fabaceae where we are studying it is also 1. NCERT has given us some hints, some tricks to remember without knowing, obviously. So Fabaceae is on number 1. It has 1 carpel. Since it is 1, it won't be fused with anyone. Coming to the ovary, I have already told you that the ovaries will be always in the families which we are studying, not in all the families present. The families in which we are studying, the ovaries are always superior. So I'll use dash over here. And guys, congratulations, our floral formula is 100% completed. Nothing tough, of course. For the first time, we had to understand some terms. In the upcoming families, we won't struggle even this much also. Now, after this, I have got something for you from your NCERT books, and of course, since we have it, it is definitely important for us to remember. So guys, you can see these are few pictures which can be asked means the examiner will give you these pictures and he will ask you that this picture belongs to the family. It can ask you the name of the family, the easiest question. Then to make it tough, he can ask you the floral diagram, floral formula, the number of carpels, pistils, the calyx corolla present here in the family member. So this first one we have got, this is of pie. So we can see this pea pods, right? Pea pods, you can see these. So you can easily remember these are the tendrils, right? These are the flowers. Now, this part B is actually showing the complete flower. This is the complete flower. And now what is this, guys? What is this? You can easily tell. These are the corolla, right? Corolla where the petals are present, 5 petals are there. Then this is one pea pod they have got. And now the next one we have is this one. You can see the androeciums are present over here. The reproductive parts of the flower are present over here. Then you can see this is the floral diagram given in NCERT. This one is present separately out of all the 10 androeciums or stamens, not androecium, sorry. Out of all the 10 stamens, this one is present separately. Rest 9 are present over here in a fused form. That is diadelphous condition. Again, an important term with important example. So we are linking two things so that you can revise, you can learn easily. Okay. So after this, we are going to see some of the examples of this family. So various examples are there, and the most common one which we get to see in our regular lives, that is the pulses. Pulses belong to this family, that is the Fabaceae family. Pulses means all the dals like gram, arhar, moong, bean, chana. Like chana is gram only. Different types of chanas are there. So all the pulses we have, which we use as food, they all are included here in this group itself. So the first example we have got is pulses. You need to remember these examples, guys. What they do, they just give a list of examples. I'm telling you how the questions are formed, how you're supposed to learn. They just give a list of examples and they ask you, how many of them will have 5 sepals, 5 petals, or 5 androecium. Diadelphous condition is formed. Means they will give you a number of examples, mixing the examples from Solanaceae family, the Liliaceae family, Fabaceae family. And they will ask you how many of them have the diadelphous condition. You need to remember diadelphous condition means Fabaceae family. Fabaceae family, you need to search the members of Fabaceae family, count them and mark your answer. If you miss one or if you take one extra, your answer will be wrong. To learn the examples properly, all the pulses like some of the examples given in NCERT, I'm going to write over here, that is gram, means chana. Other than gram, it has arhar. It is also a dal. Then we have as moong, means all the pulses. Then sem. Then we have a soya bean, the protein for the vegetarians, right? Now, next, other than pulses, we have got the second type or second uses of these members, that is the edible oil. So the members of this family gives edible oil. Edible oil means the oil which is used for as food we use in our regular lives. One is soya bean oil, of course. Another one is groundnut. Groundnut moongfali, or we use oil of groundnut also for cooking purposes and all. Then we have one dye. Now, you know that your mom gives some dye to white clothes. That dye is actually belongs to this family and it is Indigofera tinctoria. In NCERT, it has given Indigofera only. You remember this name only. No need to go for the name of the specific epithet. Learn the dye Indigofera. Indigofera. In general terms, we call it as meal. It is blue in color. It is used to give the color. It is used after washing white clothes. Indigofera Neil. Then we have some members which are used as fibers. Fibers example is sunhemp. Then after fibers we have got as fodder. Fodder means food for animals, chara sort of thing. Okay, examples of fodder are Sesbania, and other than Sesbania we have a Trifolium. Trifolium. Of course, so many examples are there, but you're familiar with most of them, right? New is Sunham, Sesbania, Trifolium. If you read them 3 to 4 times, you'll be learned with them. Then ornamentals means the plants which are used for decoration. Ornamental means not our decoration, but the home or garden decoration. And 2 examples are there. One is lupin. It has beautiful flowers. And another one is sweet pea. Sweet pea is not eaten. The one we eat is garden pea. Okay. Now, next is medicine. So, for medicinal purposes also, we use the members of Fabaceae family, and the one we have is Mullaty. Mullaty is used in the medicinal purposes, for this throat and medicines or the respiratory medicines and all. Mullaty is used actually when there are some respiratory issues, means difficulty in breathing and all. Mullaty is used actually. So these are all the examples we have got discussed for the family Fabaceae, and we are done with the first family. Congratulations guys, and now we'll go to the next family, that is the Solanaceae family. Solanaceae family. Now, without wasting time, I know you want to write the floral formula and you all are excited to write its floral formula. So let's write its symmetry. It's the actinomorphic. It has actinomorphic symmetry. It is bisexual. As I told you, all the families we'll study are bisexual ones. Then I'll simply write K, C. I'm just writing far away so that there'll be no mixing up of the things. G, K, C, A, G. Kaisi ho G ki place pe, we'll use K, C, A, G. Okay, so just a bit trick, but I know you don't need this trick to learn this much easy thing. Now, the next we have got is to write the number of sepals here at the place of K. And guys, you can see that, let me use green color. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. All the 5 sepals are fused. Okay, I'm fusing them with the bracket. Because I know to show fusion of the members of same wall, I have to use the brackets. Clear? Now, once my sepals are done, I'll move to the next part. And the next part is what? Next part is calyx. And for calyx, I'm going to choose this maroon color. Okay. So the second word is the calyx. And let me count how many these petals are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5. Okay, 5. And you can see all these 5 are fused. This thing shows fusion. These things shows that the two parts are fused with each other of the same wall. Now, can you see some difference over here in this member? Yes, you can see that here the stamens means the third wall is connected to the second wall. So, I need to show this connection with the help of an arc. Then only I'll move to androecium, because to jump to androecium, I have to cross these parts by the arc. Done. Now count the number of androeciums we have got. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll use 5, but look, here these stamens are not fused with each other, so I'm not using the brackets. These stamens are fused with the petals, and I have used this arc to show this condition, which is known as epipetalous condition. What does it show? Even though I have discussed this already, but I'm again writing it. Epipetalous condition, where the stamens are connected to the petals just above them. Okay, so we are done with the three whorls. Now we have the last whorl, that is the gynoecium. You can see that here the two gynoeciums means two carpels will be there. Number two, where we are studying Solanaceae, two two carpels, or two ovaries also we can remember, not an issue, because one carpel, one ovary. Here, remember all the families you got to study, all of them will have fused carpels. None of them are going to have separate carpels, and the ovaries are definitely the superior type or hypogynous flowers are present. Done. I am done with my floral formula and floral diagram. Wow, very fast, very easy to remember. Right? I know you won't make mistakes next time when you are writing these floral formulas and floral diagrams. You will easily remember what these things are actually representing. Now let's first see the examples of the Solanaceae family here itself. Then only we'll move to see the important pictures given in your book. So, for Solanaceae family, the first one we have got is the food. Means as food, the eatable things or edible things we have got is potato, everyone's favorite. Then we have is tomato. Then we have the last one, that is brinjal. Okay, so these three things we usually eat. They are common to our lives, easy to remember. Then spices means masale. In case of spices, we use one, that is chili. Chili is actually the mirchi, the green chilies. Okay. Then medicine means more spices are there. What we need to learn is this one. Then we have is medicine. Medicine includes two examples. One is belladonna, and another one is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha. Okay, nothing detail required. What are their uses and all? Just remember belladonna, ashwagandha, Solanaceae family, medicinal uses. That's it. Okay. Next, after medicine, we have some fumigatory materials. Fumigatory materials, which produces fumes, which we use, means we don't use, other people use, like tobacco. Very, very harmful for the health, injurious to health, tobacco. Then we have is ornamentals. Ornamentals, again, to decorate our houses, gardens, offices, the balconies and all. So ornamentals includes a plant, that is petunia. Petunia is the ornamental plant belonging to Solanaceae family. Remember, Solanaceae family usually known as potato family or vegetable family also, because so many vegetables are included in this family. Clear? So we are done with what? We are done with floral formula, floral diagram and in examples. That's all we were supposed to study. But means I'm not giving you anything tough. I'll just show you some pictures so that you can recall if they are asked in the exams. Okay. So here we have got some pictures right here. So you can see the first one belongs to Solanum nigrum plant, which is commonly known as makoi. You'll get the labelings in your NCERT. I just want to give you an idea. You won't have to struggle to learn them. Of course, you don't have to struggle at all. They'll be easily learned, very, very easily learned by you. Then the B one we have got is the flower. Then C is longitudinal section of the flower. Means if this is complete flower, I just started longitudinally and I show you the longitudinal section. Then the next is stamens. D is stamens. And the next one is carpel. This one is what? This one is carpel. And the last one is floral formula. You can see this floral formula. This is one carpel. This is another carpel. Here, the epipetallous condition is present over here. This is all about the Solanaceae family you have got to study. Now, let's see the next family. Just a minute. Okay. So the next family we have got to discuss is the Liliaceae family, and in this Liliaceae family, guys, we have some differences. Now you can see with the diagram itself that there is some change with the thing I have been discussing till now, but you won't have to feel scared of these differences. I am here to explain what they are. We can see this is the outermost wall, 1, 2, 3. This, then I'll change the color. I'll use black. This one, this one, this one. They are present in a separate world, but they are similar to the ones present on the outer world. And hence, what do we call them as? We call them as tepals. So in Liliaceae family, we don't see calyx, we don't see corolla, but we see tepals. So while writing the floral formula, I'm not writing K and C. I'll be writing what? I'll be writing P. So let's write the floral formula first, starting with the symmetry. It is actinomorphic again. That is, it can be divided into two equal halves with the number of planes. Then coming to the sexuality, of course, they are bisexuals because all the families we have, all are very good. They don't trouble us at all. They are all bisexuals, means male and female present together. Then no calyx, no corolla. It has P. I have drawn this P very beautifully. I don't know why, but P is present now. This P has got how many numbers of the tepals? You need to remember what are the number of tepals present over here. So as you can see, on the outer world, 3 tepals are present, and on the inner world, 3 tepals are present separately. So we write it as 3 plus 3. We don't write them as 6. Remember, we write it as 3 plus 3. Here we are done with the tepals or the perianth. Perianth will include the calyx and corolla. After that, what we have? We have the androecium. Okay, I have written the androecium A, and for androecium, I first need to count the number of stamens I have, and I have got total how many androeciums? I have got total 6 androeciums, but again these androeciums are playing some typical role with me. 3 of them are attached with the outer ones, this one, and this one. So I'll write the 3 separately and I'll write the remaining 3 separately. So it is also 3 plus 3. But now you can see that, what you can see, guys, you can see that the stamens are attached with the tepals. The stamens are attached with the tepals. So to show attachment between the members of 2 different worlds, I draw an arc, right? So my arc is done. My attachment is shown completely over here. Now the next part I'm left with is the gynoecium. Let's go for the gynoecium, G. Now, in this gynoecium, you can count how many these carpels will be present. So guys, we know that how many these carpels are present? 1, 2, 3. 3 carpels are present, and all these 3 carpels are basically fused with each other, as you can see, because the carpels we are going to study in all the families will be fused always, and since Liliaceae is on 3rd position where we are studying, 3 carpels with fused condition are found. Now what about the position of the ovary? Of course, our ovary is superior kind of ovary. So I'll use a dash here. And my floral formula is completed. Now coming to NCERT means some of the books. You can have one old version or new version. So you may find the difference, that is this arc is absent in some of the NCERTs. So you won't have to get confused. Remember epitaphlus condition. Epitaphlus condition is found in Liliaceae family, no doubt guys, okay, because the floral formula which is given in NCERT shows the epitaphlus condition, whereas it is not given in some of the NCERTs, so you won't have to get confused between the two. Coming to the next point, that is the examples of Liliaceae family. Since this family has got a bit smaller floral formula, it has less examples also, okay. I know it doesn't make any sense linking the two things, but I just linked it without any reason, okay. So coming to examples, first we'll talk about the ornamentals. Ornamentals includes two tulips. Tulips are very beautiful flowers. They're usually closed. You see in a number of movies and all. In fact, I don't know about you, what movies you see and all. Tulips are usually given in flowers, like to give someone some flowers, they use tulips of different colors and all. They are very beautiful flowers. So one is tulip, another one is gloriosa. Flowers do have their own meanings, even though I am not having much knowledge about their meanings, but tulip is one of the most beautiful flower I have seen. Then we have is medicine. Medicine, we use the aloe vera. Then aloe vera is one common which we usually use for medicinal purposes, for our skin glow and for like for our normal diet and all. Just to decorate our balconies and all, we grow the aloe vera. It's easily grown with less amount of water. Then the next we have got is vegetables. Okay, so here I have got one question, that is asparagus. Let me first tell you the example. I hope you do remember the point I am going to ask. One is asparagus, another one is onion. Here, asparagus. Where did we study this example, asparagus? If you don't recall, if you haven't studied this asparagus, do watch my videos of plant morphology. Well, I have discussed this asparagus also. This asparagus is a root modification for storage of food. An adventitious modification, root modification it is. So do watch the videos of plant morphology. I'll be giving the list, the link of the complete playlist of plant morphology in the description below. So if any part is missed by you, go watch it, the points will be clear. Then apart from vegetables, we have one more plant, that is Colchicum. Colchicum autumnale. I'm telling you the complete name. From this plant, what is obtained? A chemical is obtained, and I'm highlighting this chemical. Colchicum. If I'm writing it with red color, can we say that it is a sort of danger thing? It's not danger actually, but it's danger for cells, because it stops the mitotic division, the cell division at the phase where the chromosomes cannot separate from each other. During the M phase of cell division, that is during the metaphase, the colchicine will act and the chromosomes will not be able to arrange and separate from each other. So colchicine is one important thing we get to study, and questions are also asked from this colchicine. So this is all about the examples of Liliaceae family. Very small family, easy one, easy examples are there. Only 2-3 are new for you. But now they'll also be not new for you. You can easily remember these examples. And now I have got some pictures for you. Of course, we can't complete families without these pictures for you. So in these pictures, the first one you have got is of Allium cepa. Allium. It's not alien, it's Allium cepa. Okay. Since it's scientific name, I have underlined it. Okay. Now, can you tell me what plant it is just by looking at the picture of the plant? This is what? Is it familiar to you? Yes, it is familiar. It's the onion we eat. And these are the green onion leaves. So basically, Allium cepa is onion, and this complete thing is about the onion. That's what you need to remember. Then this is one flower and the arrangement. Then this is the floral formula and all. Okay, you can see that the sepals are present here. Okay, so this was all about the Liliaceae family you have got to study. Then the next one we have got is the fourth family, that is Brassicaceae family. Now in this Brassicaceae family, guys, you need to keep one thing in mind, that you don't have to go for the examples. Just remember that Brassicaceae family is also known as mustard family. Mustard family. Okay, and what you need to remember is its floral formula and its floral diagram. So starting with the floral formula, writing the starting with floral diagram and writing the floral formula. Let's start with the symmetry. It's definitely actinomorphic. Now, sexuality, definitely bisexual, because all the families are having bisexuality. Here the calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium all are present. So I'm just writing the basics. Okay. Now coming to the first word, that is of the calyx. Sepals are present, total 4 in number, but these are not fused plus. You can see 2 are present on the outer side, whereas the other 2 ones are present on the inner side. So I have to show that these are present separately in form of 2 plus 2. This one together forming 2, and this one together forming 2. Coming to the next one, that is the corolla. Total how many petals are there? You can see I'll use pink color, since I've used here also pink or maroon, I can't see. This is the corolla, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. No specific arrangement, no fusion, simple 4. Now, next is the androecium, means number of stamens they have got, and here you can count 2 are present on the outer side. Since 2 are present on the outer side, they are unfused, and 4 on the inner side, we write it as 2 plus 4. But they are not fused with each other. Coming to the gynoecium, of course, they are fused and they have 2 carpels with superior ovary. That's all about the Brassicaceae family you have got to study. And guys, congratulations, here we are done with this topic of families which you were scared of, but now I expect that you will not be scared at all. You will easily remember the family floral diagrams, floral formulas, examples. You just need to struggle a bit for the examples, I know, but struggle leads to success. So on this note, I'll be ending today's session, and I hope you like the video. Then please hit the like button. Subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed it yet, and hit the bell icon so that you will get the notifications for my upcoming videos. And do share it with your friends. Write your views in the comment section below.